What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And as you guys can see, once again, I am outside with it on this beautiful but hot day here in Dallas, Texas, man. As y'all can see, the skin is skinning, right? The skin is giving vitamin D. What the kids say nowadays, it's giving. All right, yeah, the skin is giving, it's glowing. And before we jump into today's video, y'all already seen the title. Y'all already know what we're about to talk about. But before we jump into today's video, I don't know why I keep saying that. The 5 Key Principles for the Modern Man, my first ever book. It is a guide for all men. It is a guide for all men to get some kind of jump start on their life. If you don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin, the 5 Key Principles is the book for you. It is now available on Amazon in paperback. You can also get that in Kindle. And also, if you just want to chat with me, right? You just want to pick my mind. You just need some kind of coaching call. You need a jump start. And you need me to talk that spark into you. The link is in the description. And also the After Pill 2.0. After Pill 2.0, my second channel where I react to videos and comments from you guys. Go ahead and subscribe over there. Go ahead and check those videos out as well. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. And y'all already seen the title, so yep. This is happening. This is happening, guys. So to be an incel is now trending. It is now popular. It is now trending to be an incel. And I seen this coming. And if you've seen a few of my live streams, if you've been watching me for a minute, I've been telling you guys, there's going to be a rise of unseen men. There's going to be a rise of men who feel unimportant. There's going to be a rise of men who have just opted out of society altogether. And honestly, that doesn't necessarily mean that these men don't have a job. That doesn't necessarily mean, these men are, I guess, not paying taxes or what have you. Or this doesn't even mean that these men are just somewhere hiding up under the rock, right? These are men that you're probably seeing in your grocery store. These are men that you're probably passing day in and day out. And the reason you don't notice them, because they're unnoticeable. But I've been noticing, especially in a YouTube space, that people are proud incels. Men are proud incels. Men are proud to not take part in society, right? Men are proud to not become the best version of themselves, not get out here and compete. And I'm just scratching my head like, when did we start doing this? When has this become okay? When? Why are men so stronghold on becoming lames? Honestly, that's essentially what it is, right? It was always looked down upon to be a lame. It was always looked down upon to be a nobody, right? And it kind of, it still is looked down upon to be a lame and a nobody. But now with YouTube, now with social media, now with, all these modern conveniences, now the incels have a mic, right? And it's crazy how things progress, right? So before, the women had the mic, right? The women had the mic. So all the women were telling the world how they didn't care about men, and they want a man who was 6 feet tall and got a big old digging stick, and they making 6 figures, right? So women have been telling their story for decades at this point. So then eventually men got the mic. Men got the mic for the first time ever. And this is just these past really 5 years, maybe 5 to 10 years that men have finally gotten the mic, right? So men have gotten the mic, and now we're talking about our standards, right? Now we're talking about what we want, right? We want a feminine, fit, and beautiful woman, right? We want women to be feminine and submissive and everything up under the sun, right? So we've given our standards on things as well. So now that has progressed into the men who can't meet that, right? So the red pill movement, black pill movement, it has progressed into several different spaces, right? So you got looks maxing, body maxing, you got black pill, you got the after pill, you got all of these different subsets of really the red pill mindset, right? But now we've gotten into the territory of the incels, right? This is when looks maxing doesn't work. This is when body maxing doesn't work. This is when, you for whatever reason can't climb the ladder that you want to climb. You can't make the money that you want to make, and you're looking around and you're at the gas station pumping your gas into, your beat up ass Honda, right? Your beat up ass Nissan that's about to fall apart, right? You putting gas in your tank, can barely put $10 in there, and you're seeing guys pull up at the station next to you. They're pulling up in Benzes, they pulling up in Beamers, they pulling up in Corvettes, right? They pulling up in all of these cars, right? And that doesn't mean that they necessarily balling, gentlemen. Just remember that. But from the mindset that you have at that moment, you're looking at it like, well, I want to drive the latest cars, because if you got the latest cars, you're gonna get the finest broads. That's just that's just whole math, right? It's gonna happen. So now you have these incels. They're looking at it like, I can't get to any of these spaces, so I have no choice but to be an incel, or they quit, right? Listen, it takes a minute to get to where you need to be. It takes a minute. Like the body I have now, right? It takes a minute. It took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to get the body that I have now, which I'm in fantastic shape. I'm in great shape, right? I'm in better shape than probably 99.9% of men. And also my genetics as well plays a part into that, but that's neither here nor there, right? So it took me 10 plus years to get into this shape, right? And I didn't see the results right then. But I kept going. I kept showing up. I kept going to the gym. And then eventually I started to see the results. Then of course, when you start to see those results, you start wanting to go more, right? But the incels, they're not seeing results. They're not seeing any results. And honestly speaking, sometimes you do have to take the black pill. Sometimes you got to come into a realization of things that you can't control, right? You can't control your looks. You can't control that, right? Some people are born ugly, right? But you as a man, you're better off as an ugly man than an ugly woman. Why? Because beauty matters for women. Beauty is the epitome of life of a woman, right? The beauty of a woman actually, it tells her whether she can climb the totem pole or not, right? Without having to do, any work. But beauty as a man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much as you think that it matters. It doesn't matter as much as these incels like to think that it matters, because if looks don't work, you can always get some money. You can always get some money if looks don't work, right? But then you get into the mindset of, well, I want women to like me for me. I want women to love me for me. Listen, bro, even me, that doesn't matter. I mean, not that it doesn't matter. It means nothing. A woman will never love me just for me, right? Do I have a better chance, than most men? Absolutely. I understand that. I have a better chance than most men. However, even me, even though I look good, I got the body, I got, some of the money, right? I got the height, I got the, pause, no diddy, I got the digging stick. I got all of those things, right? But even still with me, I have to take the black pill and understand that no woman is gonna just solely love me for me. That's just how it is, right? Women love you for what you can do. Women love men based on utility. Not because of all of these things that, these dating coaches and everybody is talking about. That stuff is null and void. Does it matter to a certain extent? Yes. Does it help? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, bro, women are women, right? So it's harder for men who don't get women to understand that. See, I've had my fair share of women, right? I've had, different shapes, colors, sizes, cultures. I've had it all. So it's easier for me to come to these conclusions because I've dealt with many different women, right? I've seen the crazies, right? I've seen the great women, the women who are great. I've taken virginities, right? So it's easy for me to come to these conclusions versus a man who has never experienced any of these things. I have to acknowledge that as well, right? But never before have I seen men just quit the way that a lot of men are quitting right now. Never before have I seen or even thought that the incel movement would be a popular movement, right? What is going on? What is going on? And that's a very dangerous mindset to have. That's a very dangerous mindset to have. Because when you have a group of men who feel like they're unseen, when you have a group of men who feel like they don't have a voice, when you have a group of men who just feel lost in the sauce, right? And now it's not, they're more so not even a minority anymore, right? They're not even a minority anymore. These guys are becoming a loud majority. They're becoming a loud majority. And I would say 60% of men, especially in the developed world, they're becoming more incel. They're becoming, more unhinged. They're becoming everything that we don't want men to be. So I truly believe that the majority of men, they're not going to strive to become the best version of themselves, right? The majority of men are not going to strive to attain the resources that it takes to be a top tier man. A lot of these men are simply giving up, and they're not a part of basically the top 5%, the top 10%. So guess what? They're floating towards a movement that seems like they care about men. They're moving towards a movement that seems like they give a damn about what the larger majority of men are going through. Because like I said, if looks maxing is not working, if body maxing is not working, And it seems like it's taking forever and a day for these men to rise up in rank and attain the finances that they so desperately want. They throw in the towel. And with the modern day society and social media, we stay in such an instant gratification culture. We stay in such, we have to, in a society where we have to have it now. We have to have it here, right? Look at the dating apps. We're just swiping through, right? We're just swiping through. It's almost like we're not even viewing anything as human beings. We're not viewing anything the way that human beings should view it. We're viewing everything like a bunch of damn robots, right? And it's really decaying the very fabric of our culture, right? And this can only fuel the fall. Or would it? Do we now stay in a culture? Do we now stay in a society where the large majority of the civilization doesn't have to be upheld by men anymore? I want you to ask yourself that, because now we have the technological advancements now. We have all of those things now, right? Before we didn't. Before it was just bricks and stones, right? We no longer have bricks and stones anymore. Now we have modern day technology, right? As you guys see, AI can replace jobs. And if you've been watching my live streams, I've showed you the humanoids. I've shown you the humanoids. Now everybody's racing to create humanoids that can actually replace human beings, right? They can talk, walk, grab your drink. They can work in the factory. They can do all the things that a human being can do. If you ever watched Dragon Ball Z, right? Remember the android? Right? They weren't human beings, but you couldn't tell. So that's where we're going now. That's where we're going. And a lot of men are, quite frankly, seeing the writing on the wall. They're seeing the writing on the wall, and men are going in many different directions, right? They're going in many different directions. Some are going MGTOW. Some are becoming incels, right? Some are taking the red and the black pill, right? And understanding that there's things in this world that you can't change, but there's things in this world that you can change, right? So just food for thought, guys. I hope and pray that you aren't the man that is becoming an incel. I hope and pray that you're watching my videos and you're taking what I'm saying. I know I talk about the doom and gloom. I know I talk about, the black pill stuff, right? I know I talk about all of those things, but at the end of the day, I'm still encouraging you guys to get out here and produce the body that you want. I'm still encouraging you guys to get the finances that you want. I'm still encouraging you guys to be the men who God ordained you to be. Men are creators, right? Men create. That's what we do. And if you get in the gym and create the body that you want, listen, the sky's the limit. So like, comment, subscribe, and that's an after pill. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.